Hello, Jags. I'm Mary Hawkins Butler, and I am honored to be your mayor. I'm your biggest fan. Not only do you compete athletically, but also academically. Oh, we are so proud of you. You compete locally, you compete regionally, and nationally. We know that the time is now. You can make your mark. Go out and get it. Nothing is impossible. We are behind you, and we love you.
At Merit Health Medical Group, our mission is to provide high-quality health care in a convenient hometown location. Our team of primary and specialty care providers is here to take care of your family's immediate medical needs. With over 30 clinics and numerous specialties in Central Mississippi, we're here to help you live a happier, healthier life. Merit Health Medical Group. Good health is just around the corner.
At Mac Hike, football is in our blood. It's about teamwork, hard work, and dedication, kind of like selling cars. And Mac Hike, well, we're the best in the game. You won't find lower prices on new trucks anywhere else than at Mac Hike. No matter what brand you pick, you always get up to $14,000 off MSRP on your new Ford, Ram, or Chevrolet. And that's what's called having skin in the game. Visit any of our 5 Mac Hike locations today.
Get that great Mac Hike feeling.
Quality, integrity, and excellence. Kincaid's Fine Clothing, Old Town Square, Ridgeland.
Welcome to the Coach Anthony Hart Show here on the Madison Central Football Network, mcbigblue.com, and Super Talk Mississippi 97.3. As always, brought to you by Kincaid's Fine Clothing in Ridgeland. And Coach, that's a big win, 28-7 over Warren Central, a football team that usually we end up going to the wire with, but the Jaguars were able to get out front and never look back Friday night.
Yeah, you know, one thing we preached all week to our kids is how tight every game has been in the series. Last year we picked up a fumble with 30 seconds left to win by 7, which was the largest margin of victory since I've been here. And it was nice to not be right there at the wire with Warren Central.
Also, it was a special night. They had the honorary captain, Coach Morgan's wife. They had breast cancer awareness evening. We also had law enforcement appreciation night, and as well, I think Brad Sullivan's family was there. It was just kind of an interesting dynamic for that night to have that being on a Thursday, but it was nice to see them at midfield and for them to be recognized.
Yes, Josh Morgan's wife has been battling breast cancer and has 6 small kids, and great family, great family. We get to see them a lot playing JV, junior high school football, so we see them a lot. And Celeste had that idea a few weeks ago that we should ask her to be our honorary captain, and I thought it was a great show from the Madison family to the Warren Central family doing that.
You know, we fight like dogs and cats on the football field, but off the football field, we're all really kind of one big family right here in our region.
Great relationship with our coaches in the region. We're close and we battle each other, but when the game's over, we know it's important.
Coach, I thought defensively we just got after them. I mean, you only give up a touchdown. Your team played well with a young defense, and were able to really just stymie them. It gave them. They had one good drive early, and we were able to stop that, make them miss the field goal, and then only give up a touchdown for later on in the ball game. Defensively, Hayes with 9 tackles, Nick Carter with 8, 2 for a loss. The Perryman brothers together for 11 tackles. C.J. Barney with 7 tackles, a sack, and 3 tackles for a loss. Defense really set the tone in this ball game.
You know, coming into the year, you got 8 new guys over there, and we talked about that early in the year, but they're not new anymore. They got games under their belt. We only have 3 seniors that play for us on defense. So, was an inexperienced bunch. Now they're not, and we're expecting those guys to, still continue to improve each week.
And obviously in the special teams as well, Aiden Duncan he got the win behind him on one of them, but that 54-yard punt, he really turned it over, got it downfield at a very crucial time in the ball game, and averaged about 42 yards. Didn't have to punt a whole lot, though. That was a good thing, but when he did it well.
Aiden's a kid that came into the program 3 years ago as a sophomore who, to be honest with you, I thought he would never be our punter. But he's really just worked at it and become a guy that's a great punter now. And hats off to kids like that who just are determined and decide I'm going to be something, and they work toward it and they become what they want to be.
It shows you what hard work can do. If he even fooled the
about
old
it.
ball coach, didn't he?
No doubt about it.
We'll come back and talk about the offense as the 28-7 win over Warren Central last Thursday. As always, brought to you by Kincaid's Fine Clothing, and we'll return after this timeout here on the Madison Central Football Network.
In Madison, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Rodney Stokes for your insurance and financial needs.
Whether you're looking for a mortgage to help with that starter home, want to start saving for law school, need a business loan for your bakery, or a personal loan for your dream car, we'll be here. No matter what your financial goals may be, we can help tailor a plan to help you reach them.
Accidents aren't planned. Mississippi Sports Medicine Orthopedic Urgent Care. You're in, you're out. You're better.
It's game day. All you should be worried about is the score, because we've got the food covered. With fresh, never-ever frozen chicken fingers, craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Hey, it's a beautiful day in Georgia blue. It's like a home-cooked meal. How mama makes you feel, that's what we do. Oh yeah. The time is now to make memories with all your friends. We'll be looking for you, so y'all come on in. This family around here, it's Georgia blue.
Back here with the Coach Anthony Hart Show here on the Madison Central Football Network, mcbigblue.com, Super Talk Mississippi 97.3. Jags are now 7-0 in the season, 3-0 in the district. And Coach, offensively, about as efficient as you could be. Jimmy, 10 of 12 for 89 yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, 177 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns on 16 carries, averaged about 11 yards per carry. Jimmy he's really clicking this offense right now.
You know, and Jimmy, the thing that you got to look at Jimmy, his numbers come in the big games. Warren Central, Pearl, Brandon, some of the better teams we've played. Jimmy has really had big nights in those games, and he comes to play. He comes to play, and he's done a great job thus far this year. And
Coach, you got it seems like Blake Gunner's really become one of his favorite targets. I know it was only 28 yards, but he did have a TD, and that's such a weapon for you back there, kind of at that fullback hybrid tight end position, however y'all, I'll call him the up back when we're calling the game, but playing back behind the tackle there. And then you're able to slip him off. And then now with Luke Robertson back, I think y'all are getting him in the slot a lot, and 25 yards receiving and a touchdown as well. That's just 2 more weapons for you.
Yeah, those are good players, and Blake being a sophomore, we're going to see a lot of him the next couple of years. Luke had little injury problems early in the year, but now he's 100%, and he's going to be a big weapon for us because he works hard and has some explosion to him, and we're going to use him in a lot of spots, not just slot receiver. And so you're going to see some good things out of him. And Duke had a good night. The last few weeks we've had to play Duke on defense because of injuries, and he's back in the backfield Friday night and almost back full speed. Almost
back almost to 100 yards. Had 79 on 14 carries, with about 5.6 yards per carry. 274 on the ground, 89 in the air. Obviously, you got to be proud of this team. I guess if I were to ask you if we could go back to the beginning of the season right now and say, Coach, you believe you'd be 7-0 and 3-0 in the district headed into Starkville, I don't know what your answer would have been. It would have been a tough sell because, with the schedule we play, it's hard. It's hard. You got a lot of teams on your schedule that can beat you. And, to be where we are at this point of the season is great, but we got a lot of things we want to do, and we're certainly not going to be satisfied with it as it is. Big game coming up tonight versus the Starkville Yellowjackets, and we'll talk about that when we return here on the Coach Anthony Hart Show, brought to you by Kincaid's Fine Clothing. And we'll be back here on the Madison Central Football Network.
Nobody does spicy chicken like Wendy's. And now, spicy nuggets are back. So all hail the Queen of Spice. That's right. And get a free 6-piece when you mobile order through the app.
Bring 'em back.
Welcome back to the Coach Anthony Hart Show here on the Madison Central Football Network, mcbigblue.com, Super Talk Mississippi 97.3. As always, brought to you by Kincaid's Fine Clothing in Ridgeland. Coach, you know, you hate to say this is the most crucial game of the season. I know as a coach speak, we're going to hear the next game's the most crucial. Well, it is the next game, and it's Starkville. They're 6-2, 3-0, just like us in the district, and they're very, very good.
Yes, they are. You know, they've got a couple of losses, but you can look at Starkville's schedule. They're like us. That, you know, their opponents are real that they play throughout the year, and you know, Brandon and West Point being the two. Brandon and West Point can beat anybody in Mississippi on any night. So, you know, it's those things that's something we just got to be ready to go, because Starkville's, you know, they're the cream in our region right now. They've won it for the last 2 or 3 years, and we just got to keep up with it.
Coach, they've got 4 senior receivers that average over 40 yards a game. We know Luke Altmaier is a talented quarterback, 17 touchdowns. They've used him a lot. They've also used some other players back there behind center as well. But this senior receiving crew and the quarterback, they're very talented. They really like to air it out.
Yeah, and they're as good as they come. And you know, they're fast guys, very explosive, very athletic, and Luke does a good job getting the ball out of his hands. And you know, you got to figure out a way to disrupt him and not let him just pick you apart and play 7-on-7 all night.
Coach, defensively, they've played well as well. 13 interceptions, 21 sacks. They're very, very physical up front. That's something that our offensive line is going to have to really prepare for and to take care of to give us time to make things happen for Jimmy and the running backs.
Yeah, you know, we've had a good week of practice, and our guys understand what they're about to face. It may take us a snap or two to catch up with the speed of the game against Starkville, but we'll settle in, and hopefully the things that we've worked on to prepare for them will be good for us.
Coach, I know you have really been pushing to our players this year about home field advantage for the playoffs, and it's really on the line right here tonight here in Starkville. Has that been something that you've even harped on even more this week?
No doubt about it, because you know, the last 3 years we've been in the North Half Championship, and all 3 years it's been on the road. And you know, if we want to get it at home, you know, we got to win. You know, you don't get it at home without winning, and we got to win tonight. And when we play Starkville again, it needs to be at our place, because if we're going to win a state championship, we'll be playing Starkville again.
I was going to say, there's no doubt about it. These 2 teams are going to meet again before this season is out, if we both continue on into the playoffs. And obviously, you know, I tell people all the time that Region 2 in the 6A is sort of like the SEC West of high school football. And now with the addition of South Panola in there as well, not to say to take anything away from any other district, but when you have Madison Central, Starkville, South Panola, Clinton, and these teams that are involved, these teams that we play, Warren Central, can't leave them out as well. It's a tough division that you have to make your way through. And then, as you said, turn around, and if you win, you're going to end up probably playing one of them again. You
know, our region swept before, you know, in the playoffs. All 4 teams have won at times. And you know, every week's fun. You know, it's a fun league, because you know you've got to play, and you're going to face good coaches and well-disciplined teams, and it's a great league. There's not a better league in our state, and anybody who thinks it is, come join us. You know, come on.
Coach, obviously the longest road trip of the year so far, or at least the longest scheduled road trip we've got. That changes up kind of the way you prepare as far as game day. Obviously, you have to do some different things, and getting these guys prepared for that long bus ride, and their meal situation, and getting them settled in another dressing room. I know that stuff that you try to keep very routine.
Yeah, well, it's not bad. You know, I have to leave a little early, not too much. And but we're going to do one good thing for you. We're going to wear our gray jerseys Friday night for you. We know how much you love those gray jerseys.
I really appreciate that, Coach.
We're going to put them on and be ready to go for you.
I really appreciate that, Coach. We love those jerseys. They're very, very, very recognizable on the field.
When we reorder them, we're going to get you some white numbers.
All right, or maybe a little bit contrasting. I tell you, they're tough to see. They're tough to see for you guys sometimes, I think, especially when they get covered in mud. Well, we're looking forward to it. I'll bring my binoculars. I'll make sure I have them with me.
Sounds good.
Coach Anthony Hart Show. We're excited, ready to play these Yellow Jackets. Best of luck to you, your staff, your coaches, your players, everybody involved with the Jaguars. Let's go get a big road win. We need this one, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Coach Anthony Hart Show. We return to the field after this timeout here on the Madison Central Football Network.
You made a promise to work, to lend a hand, to push, to build, to invest yourself, to make a difference. You made a promise, and so did we. To Mississippi, to each other. Bank Plus, it's more than a name, it's a promise.